Hello everyone, it's Stefan from Loving New York again. And if you're wondering what you should do in 3 full days in New York, and whether it's worth it to go to New York for just 3 days, then this video is exactly right for you. And now you'll find out what the itinerary looks like, how much 3 days in New York will cost you, including my tips, in the next few minutes. So have fun. We're starting our first day right in Bryant Park. Grab a coffee from one of the nearby cafes, for example from Blue Bottle Coffee, and then stroll down 5th Avenue, heading south. Along the way, you'll pass the New York Public Library, lots and lots of flagship stores, and just 10 minutes later, you'll reach the Empire State Building. But we're not going in just yet. We keep walking, continuing south along 5th Avenue until we reach Madison Square Park and the Flatiron. Here, you're roughly at 23rd Street and have the first truly iconic building right in front of you. If you need another coffee now, just look to your right. That's where you'll find the Italy Food Market. It's really great. They have some seriously delicious espresso there. Or just keep walking down to Union Square. Now you're at 14th Street. And there's a very good chance you'll discover something special. Very often during the week, there's a farmer's market right at Union Square. Yeah, take a little break and soak in those first impressions. And once you're full of impressions, of course, you keep going. Keep heading south, all the way to Washington Square Park. That's the park in a student neighborhood of Manhattan. And what you'll notice is that the vibe is super relaxed. Totally different from many other parts of the city. From here, you have all kinds of options. You can either check out one of the many little shopping spots on either side. There are also lots of little boutiques here and a few galleries. So you can really have a great time here. And our next destination is Bleecker Street. Bleecker Street is basically the lifeline of the village. This time, we're walking it from about the middle of Bleecker Street all the way west, toward the meatpacking district. As you do, you'll be wandering through one of the most beautiful neighborhoods in the city, and for me, that's the West Village. It's really not that touristy. There are hardly any tourist attractions here. It's more of a residential area, and it's super relaxed. And like I said, after Bleecker Street in the village, your next destination will be the meatpacking district. The meatpacking district is really famous, but it's actually really small. It's really just a tiny little neighborhood squeezed in between the village and Chelsea. It's especially known for its many loft-style buildings, which now house boutiques, shops, clubs, and really great restaurants. And it's the starting point for a truly beautiful attraction, the High Line. But before we get started, you have 2 options. If you say, hey, I want to see something special before it gets even more special, then head left now toward the Hudson River. Just 200 meters away is Little Island. It's one of the newest free attractions. I'm always amazed every time I'm there. Architecturally, it's really impressive, beautifully done, and you get absolutely fantastic views of the Manhattan skyline. You look down the Hudson River, it's just absolutely beautiful. You get an especially nice view of Little Island from the neighboring pier. That's a rooftop pier. You can walk up there and look down at Little Island from above. If you've done that and think, but before I walk those almost 30 minutes along the High Line, I want to check out something else, then I recommend the Chelsea Market. It's also right there, just a short walk away. It's a combination of a food market and a shopping spot with lots of great little artists. I've picked up quite a few souvenirs there myself, clothes that last you a bit longer. And I recommend at least taking a look inside. And right next to Chelsea Market, there's a really special Starbucks location called Starbucks Reserve. It's basically the upscale branch. And here there's a small restaurant where coffee's a main ingredient. You can drink coffee cocktails. It's great. You can see how coffee is roasted right there, and of course there's a little cafe attached. Really beautiful spot. It's called Starbucks Reserve. And yeah, I've already had like 2 to 19 coffees there myself. I just really like it there. So now we're on the High Line. Now walk along the High Line, heading further north, and you have a beautiful destination ahead of you. You really can't miss it because you'll always see this skyscraper with a unique corner that jets out from the building. That's the Edge, one of the newest observation decks. One of my 2 favorite platforms in New York. And what's special about it is its location. You're really close to the Hudson River and have a beautiful perspective. And above all, you can see a lot from up there. Why? There's a ton of glass used in the construction as well. Yeah, as you can see here in the pictures, even on the outside, there are basically no railings, just glass walls, and they're curved outward. That means if you lean against it, you can look straight down. And from that little glass section that's built into the corner, you can also look straight down. Yeah, I think it's about 340 meters directly to the ground. Absolutely beautiful. I highly recommend the Edge. If you're here for 3 days, go during the day because there's another great platform where you can watch the sunset. So now you've been to the Edge. What can you do next? You have several options. You can either head straight back to the water. There's a great spot called Bryant Park. It's on a pier, and there's also that red ship. You'll see it. You can get great food there, and you're right by the water. I really love that. Or you can walk about 20 minutes either north, and then you'll be at the pier where the classic Circle Line tours depart. I recommend the nighttime harbor cruise there. Absolutely beautiful. Or you can walk about 20 minutes south from the Edge. That's where you'll find my beloved classic Harbor Line tours. There are also boat tours, just on much smaller ships. You can find exactly which tours they are in the first pinned comment and in the description of this video. That was day 1. I've put all of these things together again in a separate, beautifully designed ebook. You can get it in our shop. If you want to take it with you as a document, I definitely recommend it. You can also find it further down in the comments. But now, let's continue with day 2. We're starting day 2 super relaxed in Soho. Soho is one of my absolute favorite neighborhoods. And honestly, on pretty much every trip I've taken to New York, I've been to Soho. It never gets boring. I can recommend several breakfast spots there. I especially like 12 Chairs in Soho and Balthazar, 2 beautiful places for breakfast. From here, we continue on to Little Italy. It borders directly on Soho, and from there, we head toward the southern tip of Manhattan. That's actually our destination. We want to go to the 9/11 Memorial. On the way, you'll pass by City Hall Park, and you'll probably recognize a lot of buildings, or they'll seem familiar if you've watched legal dramas set in New York. That's because there are several, including the Supreme Court and other courthouse buildings. Once you've arrived at the 9/11 Memorial, I really recommend taking your time and relaxing there. I also like the 9/11 Memorial for very personal reasons, because as I mentioned, I was in New York during 9/11. The memorial's free of charge. The museum is also definitely worth a visit. I actually only recently got up the courage to go inside myself. I've also made a separate video about that. You know the drill, it's linked above and below for you. And then I have another tip, visit O'Hara's Pub and Restaurant. It's right next to the 9/11 Memorial, and it's a really important spot for the police and for the firefighters of New York, and actually from all over the USA who make a pilgrimage there. You can see it from the many patches behind the bar. It was already a central meeting point before, but especially during the attacks on September 11th. And what I can also recommend is to go to the One World Observatory. That's the observation deck of the One World Trade Center. Why do I think this observation deck is so great? You get a truly unique view of, well, the southern tip of Manhattan, and when you look north, you can actually see all of Manhattan laid out in front of you. It's a really beautiful view, and no other observation deck offers this angle. You can see the ferries that are traveling through New York Harbor, and of course the most famous one, the Staten Island Ferry, for example, you can see that from up there too. But that's where we're headed next. Head down to the Staten Island Ferry Terminal. That's in Bryant Park, and you'll walk right past Wall Street in a relaxed way. And when you arrive at the Staten Island Ferry Terminal, here's an important tip. Watch out, there's a big tourist scam there. There are people who look totally official and try to sell you tickets. Don't let them fool you. The Staten Island Ferry is free. On the way back, each ride takes about 20 minutes. I recommend being at the front again, because then you'll be heading toward the beautiful southern tip of Lower Manhattan, and you'll have that fantastic skyline with the towering One World Observatory right in front of you. Absolutely beautiful. Now though, we're heading toward Brooklyn. You can't miss Brooklyn. Brooklyn itself is a huge borough. If it were its own city, it would be the 4th largest in the US. So with the rest of the day we have, we can't explore all of Brooklyn. So we're picking one neighborhood that's super well known. It's not a hidden gem anymore, but it's really beautiful, and that's Dumbo. There, I recommend you go to the famous photo spot. It's right at the corner of Washington Street and Water Street. Also, check out the Time Out Food Market. You can grab a bite to eat there. They have a free rooftop terrace upstairs. From there, you can look out over Brooklyn Bridge Park. It's absolutely beautiful. And if you're wondering, hey, how do I get from the Staten Island Ferry Terminal to Brooklyn Bridge Park easily? Just head to the Wall Street Pier and hop on the NYC Ferry. Ride it one stop over, it only costs $4. And first of all, it's so nice because you're super close to the Brooklyn Bridge. You get off at the Brooklyn Bridge stop, and secondly, it's a super quick way to get across, because I recommend that after visiting Brooklyn Bridge Park, you walk back over the Brooklyn Bridge to Manhattan. And if you've watched my previous videos, you've probably already heard me explain why I recommend going in this direction. It's simple. That way, you get a gorgeous view because you're looking right at the skyline of Lower Manhattan and walking straight toward the One World Observatory. So what do I recommend for the evening? Either start with a quick stop at one of my favorite bars. That's Dead Rabbit, which is in the Financial District. If you're a whiskey fan or really love pubs, then you absolutely have to go here. For me, an absolute must is enjoying the sunset at Summit 1 Vanderbilt. That's my favorite observation deck. It's also the newest observation deck that New York has to offer. I've made a separate video about it with a ton more impressions. I'll link that for you again above and below. And here at Summit 1 Vanderbilt, you should let your day wind down. On day 1, we were in Manhattan. On day 2, we were in the southern part of Manhattan, took a trip over to Brooklyn and checked out Dumbo. So what are we doing on day 3? We're starting again in Manhattan, more specifically in Midtown Manhattan at Bryant Park. Bryant Park is one of my absolute favorite parks. It's super relaxing. There's always something going on, day or night. In the summer, there are free events, movie screenings, free yoga sessions. I actually checked that out from up at Summit 1 Vanderbilt. Super cool. In the winter, there's the Winter Village. So yeah, Bryant Park is just a really, really great park. And now we're gonna walk, since it's at the level of 42nd Street, further east for now. We'll take our time to check out Grand Central Terminal, this beautiful train station in New York. Across the street, you can see the Summit again and the Chrysler Building. So what are we gonna do now? From here, this time we're not walking down 5th Avenue to the south like we did on day 1, but heading north with our destination, Central Park. On the way to Central Park, you'll pass by lots and lots of beautiful sights, like Rockefeller Center, for example. In winter, the special beautiful Christmas tree stands here. At Rockefeller Center, you'll also find the Top of the Rock observation deck with a gorgeous view of Central Park. Directly across from Rockefeller Center is St. Patrick's Cathedral. I can recommend that to you as well. You can go in there for free, and it's just incredibly impressive to stand inside. Now that we've arrived at Central Park, you'll see that you're at the southeastern entrance. On your right, you'll see the famous Apple Store, where that glass cube rises up from underground, so to speak. It's also really impressive from an architectural standpoint. And now that you're in Central Park, my first recommendation is to go to the Central Park Lookout. These are the rocks from which you can look out over the Wallman Rink. That's the ice rink in winter, or in summer it turns into a roller skating rink. It's a really, really great spot where you get a beautiful impression of the place. And it's so special because you get a mix of nature and you can see the skyscrapers of Billionaires Row. So it's truly a beautiful, beautiful place. In Central Park itself, I really recommend that even if you only have 3 full days, you should definitely spend at least half a day there. You have different options. Either you walk to attractions like the Bethesda Terrace with its beautiful fountain, or you stroll across the Bow Bridge. You can go to the Central Park Boathouse, which used to be called the Load Boathouse. It's a restaurant, it's a cafe. From there, you sit right by the lake and can look out over the water and the nature all around. It's a beautiful place, I love it. Or you can keep walking to Strawberry Fields. That's the memorial for John Lennon. It's always really busy there, but it's worth it. You have the option to either really walk to the different spots, or you can grab a city bike. I'm a huge fan of that. There are lots of stations all around Central Park where you can rent a bike, ride wherever you want, and then just return it at one of the many stations. I'll tell you exactly how it works with the free app in a separate video. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. Once you've explored Central Park, you have several options. I recommend either visiting the American Museum of Natural History, which is on the west side of Central Park, or heading to the east side of Central Park to the Museum Mile. That's right on 5th Avenue. And there you have a variety of world-famous museums to choose from, starting with the Guggenheim Museum all the way to the Met. So I really recommend setting aside some time to visit a museum there. If you're thinking, man, I'm getting a little hungry now, I recommend the Brooklyn Diner. There's a Brooklyn Diner, despite the name, one by Central Park and another at Times Square. Here we are at Central Park at 57th Street. I'll link that for you below as well. There you can really enjoy classic American food, super tasty. Now, instead of heading back down 5th Avenue, we'll continue along 6th Avenue. If you look at Manhattan from above, that's one street over to the left. So we're walking south down 6th Avenue here, all the way to 50th Street. What's waiting for us right there? Radio City Music Hall, an absolutely amazing concert venue. In winter, it's beautifully lit up. That's where the Rockets perform, and even if you're not there in winter, it's just a beautiful venue. And from there, we'll head to a little insider spot, just one block further south to 49th Street. Once you reach 49th Street, head right toward Broadway, and there you'll see a little mini plexiglass tunnel. It's an art installation. I think it's pretty funny. You can walk through it and see one of the many little unique things waiting for you on every corner in Manhattan. So where do we end up then? Then we're at the famous M&M Megastore right at Times Square, and there I recommend a great food spot to you, Junior's. So I'm actually not that into sweets, but of course I had to try the cheesecake there. And what can I say? Yeah, it's a touristy spot, but the cheesecake is just super delicious. Day 3 is coming to an end. We're at Times Square. I didn't include Times Square during the day on this list. Why? I just don't like Times Square during the day. It's just crowded and honestly, it's not that special. But in the evening, it becomes something special. And that's why we're ending our 3rd day at Times Square. If you're thinking, hey, I'd also like to see a Broadway show, then you're definitely in the right place here at Times Square. Because to the right and left of you, since you're right in the middle of the theater district, a ton of the famous Broadway shows are happening. Either you've already bought your tickets in advance, or you decide to be spontaneous. Then you're also in the right place here at Times Square. Go to TKTS. You can't miss it. It's that red spot under the red stairs at Times Square. That's where they sell the day's leftover tickets, up to 50% cheaper. And like I said, that was day 3. And yeah, really take some time to enjoy Times Square in the evening. And if you want to keep going afterwards, check out one of the many rooftop bars nearby. For example, I can recommend the Refinery at the Refinery Hotel, which has a view of the Empire State Building. And if you're looking for even more inspiration, I recommend the next video. This is my video about the 25 most beautiful places in New York. You definitely have to check it out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel, download our app, and then just have an absolutely amazing time in New York. Have fun with the next video, the 25 most beautiful places in New York, and then enjoy your time in my favorite city. Bye.